So guys, I'm back. 615 random goat. Clearly, it's the same day, so I'm wearing the same clothing. We had a little interruption at first, but it's all good. So, anyways, this is a continuation of Should Relationships Be Google Autofill? Crap. I forgot to plug up my light. I knew there's something different about this. I always have my light plugged up. Now I feel stupid. How many mistakes am I going to make? Well, it's not going to be as bad as Steve Harvey's mistake. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Respect Steve Harvey, even though it's hilarious. It's like, yeet, got him. You thought you were Miss Universe. Oh, God. Yes, I did watch the pageant. I was I was highly upset when USA got second runner-up. And it just made me want to turn off channel. Then I was going for Philippines, then Colombia one. I was like, bruh. And then they come at Philippines one. I was like, ha. Ha ha. Okay, now, should there be jealousy in relationships? What did I say? I said to maybe a certain extent. I said you gotta watch what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You can't be one of those people who get jealous, like go off the chain every single time your significant other gets a notification on their phone. But I guess at the same time, you do need to be weary of suspicious actions and whatnot. But it just, you know, it's just like, you know, what is actually suspicious? Like, don't be petty. Basically, what I'm saying. If you're gonna be jealous, don't be petty. And I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of texting someone at the moment as well, so that's gonna come up a bit. So the next thing is, see, HHK. Should relationships be K? Okay, these basically the same questions. Should relationships be kept? Okay, well, I'm not talking about this same as the last one. I mean, the two questions came up with that. Should relationships be kept secret? Should relationships be kept private? Okay, here's my answer to that. I'm gonna sound very vain, but it depends. There's a lot of these are it depends questions. Should relationships be kept secret? And it said it depends on your comfort level with everyone knowing you're in a relationship. Me personally, I don't care if everyone knows. I don't need everyone else's approval, to be honest with you. But I mean, people find out, I could really care less. If they don't, then have him. Not gonna brag about it. I'm not in one. And no, that's not an invitation. I know I'm awesome, but that's not an invitation for that's not an invitation for girls. I mean, I know I'm awesome, but let's try to keep our hormones in check. Uh, yeah, in all honesty, I wouldn't really mind if people knew about it. That's just me personally. Like I said, it depends on the person. Like if you don't know your relationship, then you maybe should express that with your partner. And vice versa, if you want people to know, again, to your partner, be like, hey, I want our business out there. Everyone needs to know that we are something type situation. Yeah. Okay, so the next is L. L. Should relationships be like? I don't know how to answer that. So, should relationships be like volleyball? I'm coming. The first question comes up. I'm reading it. I don't know how to answer that. If you mean like two people relationship, should it be like they're playing volleyball against each other, where I serve it to her and then she hits it back or something like? I don't even know what the heck I'm saying right now. Maybe. I don't know how to answer that question. It's kind of a weird question. Wouldn't just be like volleyball? Where'd that even come from? I don't know. The goat does not know. I guess. I don't know. It depends. Maybe. No. Sure. Why not? I don't know the answer to that question. So we're just gonna go to the next one. Should relationships be like volleyball? I don't know. ABCDFGHIJKL M. Should relationships be monogamous? Okay. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and answer both of these questions because monogamous. Me personally, I'm going to say yes. CB moral, I'm going to say yes. They should be monogamous. It should just be between one person and one person. However, I do have to take into account everyone has their own things. For me, like I said, it's yes. I think that's kind of the norm for America. Um, honestly, and for the record, for those of you guys who are like, no, it's not the norm. There are plenty of people who cheat. If they are cheating, the relationship is still considered monogamous only because the partner does not know about it. If they knew about it and they allowed it, then it would be polygamous. But because they're sneaking around and the partner does not know and they're trying to make it look like they're with one person, that's what makes it monogamous. Like I said, it's the norm for America as far as monogamous relationships goes. Now, of course, there are other cultures and all that. They recognize polygamous relationships, and I guess it just teach their own, right? I mean, if you agree to be in a polygamous relationship, it is what it is. Me personally, I would not agree to that. With me, it would be strictly monogamous, and I hope my partner would be okay with that because I'm not. Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening. No, it's not happening. I'm sorry. I'm putting my foot down. See this? I'm putting it down. That's my foot. For those who didn't know. Yeah, it's not happening. And then another one, should relations be maintained after divorce? I just want to answer both these questions because both of them caught my attention. This one, I've never been married, so it's hard for me to say what should happen after said divorce if I've never been divorced, but I'll say this. I hate saying it depends, but it depends, and for a lot of reasons. Should relationships be maintained after the divorce? The first thing, are there kids? If there are kids involved, then the relationship should be maintained in some way to make sure that the kids are taken care of or okay, you get to see both their parents. I don't think any parent has less of a right to see their kids than another one unless extreme situations occur like drug dealing and all that stuff. I don't think kids should be kept from their parents. So that's my first thing right there. Number one thing, if there are kids involved, then yes, it should be maintained in a way for the kids to be happy. And then I guess there are a lot of other things too. Relationship be maintained. It I don't know. I mean, if you say there's not really much to say about that. I mean, if somebody stays friends with their ex-wife or ex-husband after they get divorced, so be it. Um, you don't. Just because you're friends with someone doesn't mean it's like I hate when people say, "Oh, if you're still friends with this person after you broke up with them, why don't you just go back out with them?" It doesn't work like that, okay? Friendships is not equal relationships. Like honestly, like you can still be friends with someone after a relationship is over. It doesn't mean it doesn't help, but it doesn't help someone else believe that you don't still have feelings for them. But it doesn't mean you necessarily have feelings for them. It just means that you guys are friends or comfortable being friends. Don't let stuff get in between you, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, so uneven. Dang. I'm sorry. That is irritating. There we go. That angle irritated me. So should relationships be in? In. Sure. Okay. So should relationships not be hard work? I'm not asking that. It's kind of the same as when the early one. Should relationships not be this hard? Same as the other one. Should relationships not be rushed? Okay, so we're answering this one. Should relationships not be rushed? No, they shouldn't be rushed. This isn't even an it depends for me. They really shouldn't be rushed. I really think you should get the time to take time to know someone before you start taking other steps. Um, I mean, because I do know some people, they meet someone and they're like immediately asking them out, and I'm like, what are you doing? I have a couple of friends I know who do that. It's like, dude, you don't even know them yet, but okay. Yeah, I do think there should be, I'm not going to say a time limit or, or like an expected amount of time between, but, there should be enough time for you to get to know someone before, you jump into things like that. That's just me saying it. Everyone has their own way. Freaking does it. I'm sorry, guys. Everyone has their own way of doing um, it. So, should relation? What was that? Yeah. Should relationships be LMNO? Should relationships be oh? Should relationships be open to parents? Okay, there are two ways I can take that. I'm going to take it both ways. No negativity there, but yes, for no negativity for you negative thinkers. Um, the oh, my nose is flaring. I can flare my nose. Pretty cool. Oh, mustache coming back. Cool. Little chin hair. All right, cool. All right, back to what I was saying. Should it be open to parents? If by that you mean should your partner be able to sleep with your parents? No, I wouldn't do it. Even if your culture says do it, don't do it. It just brings a whole lot of problems. But I'm pretty sure you don't mean that. Like I said, I'm gonna assume that you mean both things. Now, if you're saying your parents should be open to be involved in your relationship, there we go. That's a good question. Um, do you feel comfortable with your parents being involved in your relationship? And a lot of people would say no, and it's understandable. Some people would say yes, and it's understandable. Find your comfort level. Because, let me give you an example. My dad, he's not in here. I don't even know why I'm pointing. He is one of the most overprotective people you will ever meet in your entire life. Okay? Warning. Warning. Y'all heard it. He's overprotective. I'm not even gonna lie. He's kind of nosy. No, he's not overprotective. He's just nosy. My sister's overprotective. They're overprotective. So you take the chance of that coming in. Now, I believe your parents should know about it. And if you're hiding a relationship from your parents, that's not a good thing. Your parents should at least know about it because they're your parents. Come on. If they don't know about it, it's kind of wrong. Tell everyone else, you don't tell your parents. What the heck? I do think they should know about it. They should. And if that's what you mean, then yes, I do think they should know about it. There's no real debate I can give against that. So LMNOP. Should relationships be perfect? No. I mean, in a perfect world, they would. And I would say yes, they should be. They should be. In a perfect world, they would be. But in reality, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay? Guys, grow up. There's going to be problems. Grow up. You're going to have to get used to them. You want to be in a relationship, you're going to have to know there's going to be problems. And I know probably already answered this question once, but I'm reiterating again. There's going to be problems. Grow up and face them. Stop thinking everything's the fairy tale ending. The Disney fairy tale ending. This is not Sleeping Beauty. This is not Cinderella. I mean, I'm pretty sure even they have problems that we're not seeing because the story's over. There's gonna be problems. Grow up and accept it. Okay, it's gonna be a bumpy ride to the end, or well, to the end of the relationship. I shouldn't say to the end of your life. To the end of the relationship. I mean, because not all relationships go forever, and it's a fact that we as humans must embrace that not all relationships go forever. And some people think, I hate when I see this post. It's like, my next relationship is gonna be my last relationship. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know it at all. I'm sorry to say you don't know that. It could very well be your last relationship, as in you're never going to go out with anyone again because this person broke up with you and you're heartbroken. It could mean it's going to be your last relationship because you're going to die, like right as soon as you're in it, and then you're going to die. Or it could mean you're going to get married and then have kids and then the rest of your life, blah, 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 blah. But in essence, you don't know that, okay? It could very well end and you find happiness with someone else, or happiness with someone else, or whatever in the case may be, but you don't know that, okay? And I like being optimistic. But some people just have this delusion. And I think as long as we keep this delusion in our head that everything's going to be perfect, you're going to screw yourself up because you're going to have false expectations, and those false expectations are going to lead you to hurt feelings and oh yeah, mostly hurt feelings. I'm going to talk about mostly hurt feelings. Another way to put that. So mostly, the freak was that? Saw my head bob. Well, mostly hurt feelings, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna come into hurt feelings, I think, anyways, or at least problems, as I said. But yeah, you just have to grow up and realize that the world is not the fairy tale ending. And I think as soon as people realize that, they're gonna stop. They're gonna open themselves up to not being so disappointed all the time when things don't go their way. I think is a better way to say that. So that was P, elemental PQ. Should relationships be quotes? What? As in, I quote to you that this, and then you quote to me that what? I don't even understand the question. And there's not really anything other than that in here. Should relationships be easy quotes? Should relationships be equal? What? I don't even know what that means. Next. QR. Everything QR. Should relationships require work? Really already answered that question. So, if you rush, should relationships have rules? Why not? No, that's not the answer to the question. Okay, let's get something straight. Your partner is not your pet. Your partner is not your child. Your partner is not your employee, and you are not their boss. How so? When you're saying should relationships have rules, so by that I mean you do not make rules for your partner to follow, if that makes sense. However, I now you can mutually agree on boundaries, which is what I was getting at. Now, if that